Peace, love, and light. Welcome to the existence changing experience that is the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. And I am the founder, the pastor, the teacher here, your guide to spiritual excellence, Pastor Oscar L. Walker Jr. Certainly, I give all esteem and praise to the Creator of all for the life spark, the power and ability, the talent to make it through this week, for every blessing that is bestowed upon us. I am so grateful for the release of the universe into my life of abundance and blessings. And I'm just grateful for this knowledge that is coming forth from the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. I understand that in order to be a leader, I have to be a follower. Not just a leader, not just a follower, but a great leader to be a great follower. And I say that to say, in the world of martial arts, once a student gains his black belt, we see the black belt as, oh, he's arrived. He's ready now, or she's ready now. But any old ancient master of any martial arts will tell you that once you achieve to the level of black belt, you become a student of the arts. You become a student all over again to master being a master so that you can be a master and teach others. And I see my growth spiritually and in knowledge as not have obtained or arrived, but I'm a student all over again, because when I was in Christianity, I was faithful to my studies, to study that Bible. When I was a Hebrew, I was faithful to studying the Hebrew and all the things that came along with that. Now that I'm on the level of spirituality, the journey has begun again. But I tell you, I am grateful for this journey, for this ministry, and for the levels that my life has undergone, and will go as I achieve my purpose on this earth. And that is to bring knowledge, to associate this knowledge of all that we've learned and show you how to esoterically evolve and ascend out of this realm, to not come back here again. Okay. I'm grateful for the inspirational ministry as we continue to send the videos out, and I'm just grateful for those that are viewing, those that are commenting, the interaction. The interaction is increasing on TikTok, and I'm starting to receive some interaction even on YouTube. So I'm grateful for that. For the word says to despise not small beginnings, and I don't, because I know that even the mustard seed, just like the parable of Yahushua, Jesus taught that the mustard seed, being the smallest seed, yields a great abundant plant. And I believe the same for the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get in to our lesson topic of the day. I'm going to go ahead and pray us in, and we're going to go ahead and start up. I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to finish this today. I never will, because I'm going to move according to how I'm led to go. And if it ends up a part two, all praises to the Most High. So let us pray. Creator of all, we give all praise and glory to you. We honor you. We thank you for the life spark, for supreme consciousness that feeds our consciousness. We're grateful. We're thankful for every blessing, every door open, every way made, for divine health, strength, increase of power, wealth, influence, money, riches, and again, excellent health. We're grateful for increase of knowledge and wisdom and understanding and greater knowledge. Thank you for the sensitivity to intuition. As our intuition grows, we trust in our inner wisdom. Therefore, we know that we're connected to infinite wisdom. And we humble ourselves and confess that we have no sin. And any transgressions against universal law or divine law that we've committed, we humble ourselves and repent. And I humble myself and ask that you will speak through my mind or think through my mind and speak through my mouth those things that are beneficial for the edification of those listening. I'm grateful to the divine spirit as it leads me in the knowledge and gives me revelation of the word. Thy name be exalted and praised forevermore. I speak this in the name of the divine, that it may come before the throne of the Most High. And I rebuke any negative spirits or any spirits that will interfere with this message going forth. So be it. Welcome to the existence changing experience. And I'm telling you that if you're watching these videos and your life is not thriving and your life is not prospering, if you're not seeing miracles, because I am operating in your life, then I don't know what to say. Just keep watching. Maybe one day it'll click. You know, when I was driving, I drove trucks for the Navy, okay, on the base, taking ammunition to and fro, taking missiles back and forth and all that kind of stuff to be loaded on the ships and shipped out and all that kind of stuff. And I was pretty good at what I did with driving that truck. And my supervisor, Hop, used to always laugh at me and my friend Albert Bailey, because we be wide open. And he said, man, you and Bailey better slow them trucks down. I can always tell when y'all coming, because y'all be flying. But it was only until I was able to do it publicly and not even publicly, because when I was doing it on the base, I really wanted to be a driver on Team 3, but I had to get my CDL license in order to secure that spot. And backing that trailer up, not backing it up, but parallel parking that trailer backwards was something else. And it was a shorter trailer, so it reacted fast. And I had talked to several experienced guys, driven with them, and they tried to run me through it and show me how to do it. And it wasn't clicking until one day I was rotating teams, and I was on team 1, and the team lead name was Jonathan Reedy. And me and Jonathan was in the truck, and I was like, man, I'm really trying to get this, man, because I want to pass this so I can get my license. And Jonathan didn't even try to tell me how to back in. He just said, Oscar, just calm down, relax, and go with your instincts. We did it a couple of times. It was hard to get, so I had to pull the truck out and all right. He said, Oscar, relax. You got this. And all of a sudden, bing, it clicked. And I parallel parked that 10-foot trailer, got it in there, pulled it out. I went through the whole test for the final test to practice it before I got my license. And man, when I'm telling you, when it clicked, it clicked. All right, and I was able to do that. And I say that to say this. You keep watching the videos, one of these messages are going to click with you, and it's going to change your life, because this is the existence changing experience. It's changing my whole experience. And I would love to believe that it's doing the same for you. All right, so without further ado, those of you that have your Bibles, your scriptures, your tablets, your laptops, desktops, cell phones, however you're viewing this and however you're looking your scriptures up, I want you to go with me in your scriptures to Habakkuk. Okay, Habakkuk 2. And we're going to start chapter 2. And we're going to start at verse 2 through 3. That's Habakkuk, Habakkuk. Okay. The second chapter, verses 2 through 3. And it reads as such. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Okay, today's lesson topic is the alignment. In parentheses, Becoming the vision. Okay, the alignment. Becoming the vision. Okay. Now, when we're talking about becoming the vision, alignment, we're talking about aligning up, all right, with the vision that is revealed in your spirit, or the vision for your life that you feel that is your purpose, okay, of being on this earth. That is your gift for being on this earth. And not only that, but any vision that you have for your life. It can be whatever job or profession that you desire to be in, whatever home or car, all of these things, even spiritual elevation, okay? We can have these visions of where we desire to be and what we desire to have, but until we align ourselves, okay, for that, then we'll just keep waiting. Because he did say, wait for it, it won't tarry, but tarrying is any measure of time. And you really want to step into your next level of whatever it is in your life as soon as possible. Sometimes you have to even keep repeating certain situations in your life because it haven't clicked and you haven't made yourself aligned, or those situations are supposed to push you into alignment so that you can go to your next level. So it said, write the vision and make it plain, make it simple, simplistic, okay? Because everybody, okay, even though he says so that the reader may run with it, or he that may run with it that readeth it, most of the time when you're writing a vision for your life, or you receive a vision for your life, you are the one that's running with it, okay? You are the one that has to put the work in. You are the one that have to go through the struggles and trials and challenges and victories of that vision, okay? Just like a farmer. He buys the land, he builds his house on the land, and all he knows is, man, one day these fields are going to be full of corn and peas and potatoes and beans and everything that he desired to raise. And if it's a farm, I'm going to have some chickens and some cows and some goats and all of the stuff just so I can sell my products so that I can make money for my family. And then my family and I will also eat from the abundance of my crops and my field and my livestock. But that land does not have all of that on there when he first purchases the land. He has to see it first and put the work in. He has to align himself, and we're going to go into it a little bit as we continue on, but he has to align himself to be put into position for things to fall in place, okay? Doors to open, to meet the right people, to get the right items or materials to make all this happen. It's a vast evolution, but in the sequence of life, you don't get to see that a lot of time because it seems like time is just moving fast. So we're going to talk about how to prepare ourselves and align ourselves, get ourselves in line for whatever vision it is that we're given from on high, from divine inspiration, all the way to our own desires in life, generational curses to be broken, all of that stuff, okay? But he told him to write the vision that he may run with it that readeth it. So what's the purpose of writing the vision? Let's talk about writing here, okay? Writing the vision. Because he could have said, scream the vision, talk the vision. But guess what? When you speak the vision and you talk the vision, even when you receive the vision, according to the amount of time that it takes you to transfer that from short-term to long-term memory, you may lose the vision. Okay? That's why he said to write it down and make it plain. Don't make it so extensive that you can't understand it or understand it. Don't make it so extensive that it seems too wonderful for you to achieve. Okay? So what's the purpose of writing the vision? Writing. Writing is the primary purpose of writing the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay, the primary purpose of writing the vision is to write the vision. Okay is to transform abstract ideas and goals into concrete, okay, and tangible roadmap. Okay, I'm gonna read that to you again. The primary purpose of writing a vision is to transform abstract ideas and goals into concrete, tangible roadmap, into a concrete, tangible roadmap, into a concrete, tangible roadmap for achieving them. Okay, it provides clarity, direction, motivation, helping individuals and organizations stay focused and accountable throughout their journey. Your vision not only shows you when you write it down what you expect to happen, but how to get there, and it holds you accountable. When you feel like you want to give up, when you feel like you want to be slack, when you look at that vision and say, "Hey, man, in 2 years you're supposed to be at this place, but these are the steps, and you dragging on the steps to get to this place, so that you're going to be in alignment for your vision for 2 years." It holds you accountable to being focused to the mission of your vision. Okay. It gives you guidance. It gives you encouragement, because everybody on their road and on their journey, you're not going to be upbeat every day all the time, want to do what you need to do to make your vision come to pass. Sometimes you're going to be mentally fatigued and sometimes a little discouraged. But that's when you go back and you look at your vision and you look at it so that you can continue to run with it. Okay. Some ideal breakdown of benefits of writing your vision is this. First off, because it already said it in the definition, clarity and direction, right? Writing a vision helps to crystallize your aspirations, making them more specific and actionable. It provides a clear understanding of where you want to be and how you intend to get there. Because anybody can say, "I want to be a millionaire." Okay, great. I hope you do. But how are you going to get there? What measures are you going to? Are you going to become an inventor? Are you going to start a business? Okay. Are you going to keep playing the lottery till you just so happen to hit it? How? What is your aspiration? How are you going to get to being a millionaire? What are your steps? Are you going to get into real estate, start buying properties and rent them out and selling them? You going to sell cars? Are you going to get into the stock market and investing? How do you plan to get to where you need to be? And if you're going to choose one of those, then what school are you going to go to? How are you going to get the funding to go to school? Are you going to have to get loans, grants, and you're going to have to work to pay your tuition? How are you going to get to where you are? What plan do you have to get to the meat of the vision? Because your alignment, okay, this is where alignment comes in. And we're going to go into it a little bit more deeper. But if you're a person that wants to be a millionaire, or you have a certain amount of money that you want to make a month, you know you're not going to make that on no job a month unless you have a specific specialty, like certain doctors and stuff like that. You become a specialist at something that will grant you the necessary resources to make that kind of money, but everybody's not there. Everybody's not a specialist. Okay, are you going to invent something? So if you would say, for example, if you're a person that wants to get rich doing the stocks, then you have to get around the right people. You got to get the literature and learn how to understand, or get in classes so you can learn that literature, that information. Then you have to put the time in to practice. That's aligning yourself. You know, some days you might not feel like sitting in front of that computer reading and going through all that and understanding the pips and all of that kind of stuff, how it falls and rises and when you need to sell and buy and all that kind of stuff. But when you look at your vision and say, "Hey, you got to stay in this class, you got to read, you got to keep working on this, you got to talk to your mentor," or whatever steps, whatever is in your plan. When you are walking your plan out effectively, you are getting in alignment with your vision, or you are in alignment with your vision. But you may get thrown off because you may sometimes want to let your hair loose, okay, let your hair down or whatever. So you may get off track a little bit, but your vision is supposed to bring you back into alignment with the goal. It gives you a clear understanding. It crystallizes your aspirations. Okay. The next part, focus and motivation. A written vision serves as a constant reminder of your goals, keeping you focused on the end result and driving your efforts. Okay. Effective planning. When a vision is written down, it becomes easier. And we're still talking about the purpose of writing the vision. When a vision is written down, it becomes easier to break down into smaller, manageable steps, creating a plan for achieving it. Okay. You may have a goal of making $100 per day. Well, what am I going to do to make that $100 a day? Am I going to cut grass? Can I cut grass? If I cut grass and charge everybody 25, if I charge $25 a yard, I got to do 4 yards minimum to get this $100. So I have to have a plan of getting those 4 yards lined up every day. If I want to make $500 in a day, $500 in a day, okay, I may have to take on larger jobs and charge more money, or do more jobs, whichever one is going to be more beneficial and for me and my health. Okay. But it provides you a means of effectively planning that. So if I can't do larger jobs because it's wearing me out trying to cut all of these yards, if I don't have a zero turn and all that kind of stuff, I may have to start smaller. Okay. And I may have to break that down from $500 a day to maybe $150 a day until I get the equipment that I need that will afford me the speed to be able to cut yards faster. That way I could cut larger yards and charge more money. I don't have to go and do more yards, because if I want to make $500 a day, all I got to do is 5 nice size yards, okay, and charge them $100 a yard to cut, edge, and blow. It's simple. Writing the vision, improved accountability. Improved accountability. A written vision provides a framework for tracking progress and assigning responsibilities, ensuring everyone knows what is expected of them. Mainly, if it's your personal vision, it gives you the framework to track your progress, because you'll be able to say, oh, I got this achieved. I gave myself 3 months to get this achieved. Okay, all my boxes are checked off. Or if I'm missing a box, oh man. You know, when I was in the Navy, we had our quarterly boards and our cycle boards, okay, and our monthly boards for planned maintenance, okay, and we will have it all listed out of in order of importance or difficulty, and as we achieved each, okay, each maintenance job, because sometimes it's divided among, I think it was like 5 of us, it'll be divided among 5 people. So each one of us that achieved our maintenance for that day, we check it off. But if one of us ran into a snag and we all had to go help him to get that completed, and we weren't able to get ours done, we would have to circle it and put an arrow to carry it over to the next day, because why? We done ran out of time today. Or in that quarter, if we had ran into a problem, an equipment problem, we weren't able to get the tool that we need to get this specific maintenance done, we'll circle it and carry it over to the next quarter. Hopefully we'll get that part or that tool by then. It's the same thing. If I fall short, but it's that board, it's the chart that we had on the wall that kept us accountable to what we were doing. And if we had to revamp or we had to make some changes, we had to do that in order to get it all done. But we tracked it on the chart, because it's easy to say, hey, I did this maintenance. But you'll find out when stuff starts breaking or don't work properly that you didn't do the maintenance. So improved accountability. A written vision provides a framework for tracking progress and assigning responsibilities, ensuring everyone knows what's expected of them. Now, Collaboration and communication, because some parts of your vision for your life, even when the creator gives you a work, you're going to have to collaborate with some people. You're going to have a support system along your pattern, along your road. Even the prophets of old, as it's written in the Bible, had a support system. Yahweh, Jesus even had his 12 disciplined ones and his followers, his support system, and they collaborated and they communicated even when he sent them out 2 by 2. When they came back to report back their success, because they followed what he told them to do. So collaboration and communication. A documented vision facilitates communication and collaboration, ensuring everyone is aligned and on the same goals and working towards the same vision. Okay? When you have a ministry, all of your key players and members have to be abreast and aware of the steps of taking that ministry from small to large. And a lot of that begins with training people how to go out and talk to people and getting them into the ministry. You know what I'm saying? Promoting the word and all of that other kind of stuff that comes with that. All right. And step by step, you grow it. But in regards to your life, you get everyone on board. If it's your family, you get them on board so they can see. But I mean, everybody, you have to know who really has your best interests at heart, because you can't share your vision with everybody. So I'm not going to even, because you have some haters that you don't know you have, that'll be working behind the scenes, casting spells, trying to send negative energy your way and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So the people that you got to collaborate with, you got to know that those people have your best interests at heart. Okay. And you got to be in tune, as Cat Williams says, with your star player, which is you. Now, adaptability, talking about writing the vision still. Adaptability and continuous improvement. Okay. Because I might mess up somewhere along the way on my vision. Or I may need to tighten some tweak and peak some things, as we used to say in the Navy, to get back in alignment or to make it better. So adaptability and continuous improvement. A well-defined vision shows for flexibility and adaptation as you learn and grow along the way. Because you may run into some snags on your life's vision, on your spiritual mission vision. But that's okay. You don't fold down, you don't give up, you adjust, you adapt, and you continue to improve. Yes, I want to be a more prolific speaker. So guess what I got to do? I got to do research on how to speak more prolifically. Okay, more astute per se, because everyone cannot be drawn or won't be drawn. Okay, to slang talk, country talk, half talk, however you talk, your bunnies talk. So you have to talk educated. You have to be able to reach everyone. But in order to do that, okay, to become a better speaker, you got to align yourself with that. Take classes, watch videos, get a speech coach. All of these kind of things to make you better in your presentation, okay, so that you can grow yourself and make the vision of your work, whether it's motivational speaking or ministry or whatever, that you can be in a better alignment for the success of that. Building confidence and credibility. Still talking about the vision. Why are we writing it down? A well-articulated vision demonstrates foresight and professionalism, building confidence in your abilities and success of your efforts. When you can look at your vision and see that you have been walking it out step by step, and you can see where I may have had a snag or two, but you know what? I got past those. This is what I did to get past those snags, and I'm still on course. I'm still on target. You gain confidence in the fulfillment of your vision. First off, you should never start anything in regards to having a vision for anything if you don't see yourself successful at it to begin with. You have to see yourself successful at that at the beginning before you even write it down, or as you're writing it down. You need to see yourself successful regardless. That is your end game. When you're called to a work, you have to see yourself. If you want to be a more righteous person, if you want to show forth a better example as a spiritual leader, or however you see yourself, whatever you see yourself as, you got to see yourself as that person. And then you have to align your actions to line up with that person that you see. Now, if you don't think much of yourself, you're going to keep aligning yourself with the not much of yourself, if that makes sense, with the negative self or the unsuccessful self. So now we understand why it's important to write down the vision, because we always read that scripture, and preachers always preach that. Habakkuk 2, God said, write the vision and make it plain, so they that read can run. Well, why are we writing the vision, Pastor? What's so important about writing it? Nobody gets into the why. And I know some of my messages may be a little analytical, but I'm a teacher, okay, by nature. So I'm trying to make sure you understand not only what to do, but why you're doing what you're doing, so that you can help the next person. Now, what does it mean to be in alignment? Because we just got done talking about why are we writing the vision and why are we writing it, the benefits of writing the vision. So, excuse me, to be in alignment means that things are in agreement, harmony, or working together effectively. It suggests a state of coherence and consistency, whether in physical arrangements, relationships, or beliefs. In a broader sense, it can also refer to a feeling of being connected to one's true self and purpose. Authenticity, that is. Now, if you're a Christian and you're satisfied with being a Christian and you want to be the best Christian that you want to be, then guess what you got to see yourself doing? You got to see yourself walking upright, keeping the word. You got to see yourself rising up early to pray and study. You got to see yourself fasting and praying and going to service and taking notes and studying and researching what the pastor said. You got to do your own research and your own prayer and meditation. It's a whole lot that go into being a righteous Christian than just saying I'm a Christian. Same thing with being a Hebrew or a Muslim. Even if you're a person, a metaphysical person, or a person of spirituality, you have to find out the avenues that you must take in order to perfect yourself in your belief, philosophy, or way of life. You got to bring yourself into agreement with yourself, your higher self, the spirits, the angels, who God, the creator of all, God, Yahweh Allah, however you referencing. And you got to bring yourself into a harmony with that. And when you're operating in a harmony with that, that means you're flowing with it. You're doing what it takes. Okay. You're rising up early, praying, fasting, reading your scripture, getting you a verse for the day to rehearse and quote in your spirit. Or you're getting up early, meditating and making your affirmations. Okay. You're reading a good word or constructive word that's going to help your inner man, that's going to bring you to a higher intellectual level or higher consciousness. And you have to be consistent with that. Now, when you fall off the wagon a time or two, yeah, because sometimes you're working or sometimes you're tired or you've been dealing with people that drain you and things of that nature. So you might miss a day, but it's not the end of the world. Or you may slip up and make a mistake. Somebody may get you angry and you might give them a good whoop for, maybe knock them out or something. So you might get derailed a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. You get back into the consistency. You get back on the train or on the wagon. Okay. A little bit of a detailed explanation of those points. All right. In physical terms, arrangement in a line. Okay. Alignment can simply refer to objects being arranged in a straight line or in proper position, like a car's wheel, for example. Now, when you're trying to put yourself in alignment for a particular thing that you're believing to happen, then you have to take the steps. Okay, just like the book of James said, show me your faith without works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. Okay, but because I believe in where I'm going and who I am and what I'm doing, then I will take the steps necessary to put myself in a straight line with that. Okay, if I need to go to school, I'm gonna find a particular school I need to go to begin my journey. Then I need to do the work in school, okay, to be successful and qualified. And then I have to get my experience and find a particular job or business or whatever it is. I have to make all things arranged in a straight line to get them all in the proper. And when you align yourself, when you get yourself in alignment through faith and practice, whether spiritual or physical, you'll find that things start to happen for you. They start to fall in line. Doors start opening. You start making the right contacts. Okay, you start getting a greater understanding of what you're trying to learn, and you grasp it. It clicks, and all of these things work together for good for you. Okay, to create and make your vision possible, to bring it into fruition. Now, in relationships, we're still talking about alignment, working together effectively. Alignment can describe a state where people or organizations are in agreement, share common goals, or are moving in the same direction. That's why the New Testament tells all Christians to be of the same mind, doing the same or speaking the same thing. That's the only way for you to be successful when you're working with other people. But when you're talking about yourself, you need to make sure that you and your higher self and the creator of all are all in alignment, or you are aligning with the spirit of the creator of all and your higher self. Holy Ghost, set up our spirit however you want to classify it. And make sure that you're moving in the same direction as the spirit is guiding you. Okay? Or as you're being guided by your ancestors, your angels, your spirit guides, however you believe. And with doing that, you achieve harmony and coherence. Now, harmony and coherence, it can also refer to the state of being in harmony or consistency between different aspects of life, like thoughts, actions, and values. You have to be in harmony with yourself. You cannot be at war with yourself and seek to achieve any vision, spiritually or none. Just like, again, I'm going to quote Cat Williams, you got to be in tune with your star player. You have to know that you know that you know that this is the vision for your life. You got to know that you are the one to achieve it and know who you are and believe in you, who you are. Then you have to believe that all things are connected and they will work together for your good. They will come together for you, that you have the power to make those things happen. I don't see why people want to put so much doggone pressure on the creator, on God, on Yahweh, on Allah. You're just lazy. But when a person like me come along and say, you can do this and you have the power and ability to achieve and do these things, you want to say, oh, he just full of himself, or he's connecting the things of Yah with weakness and all this kind of stuff. I'm not excluding the creator. He gave you power and ability and strength and gifts to make things happen for yourself. But see, the problem is when things don't happen like you expect them to happen, like you said you were believing that they happen, and they don't happen, you gotta have a scapegoat. Instead of looking at yourself saying, you know what, I got off track somewhere. I must have messed up somewhere. So I need to search me and make sure that, you know, I'm supposed to be going this way, or I must have missed a step, or if the creator, well, I'm gonna get out of that old way. Well, God must be mad with me. Man, please. The creator ain't mad at you. You ain't being punished. You either had a wrongful thought, or a thought of failure, or excuse me, or fear. You didn't believe somewhere, and then when it falls short, you want to blame the creator. You want to blame the Most High instead of taking accountability and restructuring yourself and realigning yourself and get back on the wagon and get that thing going the way it's supposed to go. Bring yourself into harmony and consistency. That's a part of your alignment. In a broader spiritual sense, supporting what I said earlier, being in tune with oneself. Alignment can also mean being in harmony with one's true self, values, and purpose. You got to be at peace. You can't be fighting the demons of yesterday and the people that you dealt with yesterday and the mistakes that you made yesterday and the things that people did to you wrong or said to you wrong or things that you thought that your parents should have did better by you and all that kind of stuff. You can't be consistently battling that stuff, holding that basket full of all that negativity. So you got a basket full of negativity, and instead of putting it down and getting you an empty basket and filling it with positivity, you want to make an excuse. Well, it must have not been meant. Oh, it was meant. You just didn't put yourself in position where you should have to take advantage of the opportunity. Just like Les Brown. Les Brown said that he would go in there, even though he was a gopher. He was getting coffee for the boss man and cleaning up the office. But he would watch them DJs and he was practicing his spiel and getting himself ready and seeing how they do. All of a sudden, one day, one of the DJs was too drunk to play the record, the CDs or whatever. And he had to call the station manager and say, hey, this dude too drunk to play these songs. And he was like, well, Les, can you put songs on for us until we get another DJ there? He said, sure. I know what to do. He said, good. Just play the songs back to back. Don't say nothing. Just put the albums on. Let's say he called his sisters and brothers and his mama and say, hey, get everybody on the station and blah, 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 because I'm about to come on. And when he came on, he had his spiel already fluent, and he did that thing and DJ'd it. And he went from being a DJ to a motivational speaker, a man who was told that he was illiterate as a child. But he wanted to buy his mother a house because they were poor. And he had a twin brother. But he worked and he got that money, became a motivational speaker. And even as he became a motivational speaker, he still encountered a setback because he went to buy a home and the process wasn't complete properly, or the deal fell through some kind of way, and he lost that house for his mother. I can't remember the whole story of how I listened to it before, but he lost that house, and he said he cried, and he said he had to take his mother back to that old neighborhood to her old house, and he said his mother came to him and said, "Son, you did good by me. Why are you crying?" She said, "I didn't want all that house no way." She said, I'm satisfied right here in my little quaint house. But thank you so much for loving me enough to do that. She lifted that burden off of him. But you know what? He rebuilt himself. Even after going through a divorce, he rebuilt himself. And he is one of the highest paid motivational speakers in the world today. He makes $5,000 for an hour worth of talking. So if he talks 2-3 times in a day, he'd have made 15 grand for an hour. Because companies call him in to motivate their employees and their executives. But he said that it's better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So you got to be aligned with your true self your values, and your purpose. Okay, in order to bring vision to fruition. Still talking about a spiritual sense, following one's true path. That's where a lot of us make a mistake at. You know, your true path is that thing inside of you that calls to you, that leads you, that you can't rest if you don't do it. And I can only speak from a preacher perspective, but when they say you feel that calling on your life, there's an unction in your spirit, a desire to just preach the word. And I developed that as a child in an early age, 8, 9 years old. And that yearning went on in me for years. I done got out in the streets and did everything else in life. But that I will always find myself, even if I was at the club and we outside talking, I always seem to get into a spiritual conversation and we out drinking, mud smoking weed and everything else. But here I come bringing it, and wasn't trying to bring the spiritual aspect in it. Somebody said something that sparked it. Till one day, I got licensed to preach, and I've been preaching ever since. I used to watch my Uncle Dave Braxton tear up a church, and boy, that unction, that spirit be swelling up inside of me. Oh, I want to do that one day. It was uncontrollable. My daddy was a preacher. Granddaddy was too. And I had that unction in me. And I still had that desire to this day, which is why I'm doing this video now. So that someone, if not today, 10, 20 years from now, will see YouTube and watch one of these videos and it will speak to their life. But following one's true path, it can imply a feeling of being connected to a higher purpose and making choices that are in accordance with one's inner wisdom and tuition. Okay? Because sometimes the preacher got to go through things, through challenges and struggles, so that he can come back and teach other people how to make it through theirs. That was one of the hard things about prophets, because they had to bear the embarrassment, the ridicule, the danger of bringing the word. But they had to follow their true life's path. And you have to follow your true life path. You have to be authentic, because the universe responds to authenticity. You have to be who you are inside. Okay? Who you're desiring to be, you got to become that inside. That's part of your alignment with the vision. So if I want to be going back to being a millionaire, then I got to get among people that are on the way to making millions and that are making millions. I have to adopt their mentality, some of their habits, even their dialect. I have to embody. And I'm talking about not only embodying it in that regard, but feeling how it feels to be financially free, how it feels to get up in the morning and even if bills are coming in, they're being paid as soon as they come in. And you still have money to enjoy life and to acquire other avenues of making money to create more wealth, more streams of income. And then all of a sudden, you're meeting all the right people and they're giving you stuff. You know, if I wasn't so lazy, I'd have been a mastermind at foreign currency exchange when it was a real big thing. I had white boys that I worked with that paid thousands of dollars for the literature, for the books, and they made copies and gave them to me for free. And all I had to do was sit down with them and say, well, show me how to do this and go through those. And I used to read the books and I had gained a certain understanding of it, but I was in a financial hardship, so I didn't see my way of getting the money to be able to start doing it, first and foremost. I taught myself out of that. And then I got tired of trying to read it and understand it, so I didn't get no help for it. But I had thousands of dollars worth of information in my hand that could have made me millions. And I can admit that, because although I said I want to be a millionaire, I wasn't aligned. Because if I was aligned, I would have followed through. I would have been consistent. Oh, the avenue was there. The information was given to me. I still got them books somewhere. But I fell out of alignment. But I noticed that everything that I aligned myself for, that I desire to have and achieve, I have accomplished, or are accomplishing, or am accomplishing, or will accomplish, however you want to look at it. But it's being in tune with oneself and following one's true path. You can't follow nobody else's path. Even if you have a mentor, you can't follow their path. You can follow their example, but their path is their own to walk out. Each and every person have their own life journey to walk out. You can only obtain information and guidance from other people on your journey, but your journey can't be theirs and theirs is not yours. You have to walk your true path and to be in alignment with yourself, with your path in life. And that's where you'll find your success. Still talking on a spiritual sense. Living from the soul level. Some alignment to describe a state of being, or some use alignment, to describe a state of being in harmony with the universe and living in accordance with one's soul's desire. Your soul is the divine spark of life that comes from the Creator. And it is from your soul that you draw, all right, resources from the universe. When you're in tune with your soul, your true self, and the power therein, and you acknowledge your connection to the universe, then the universe will yield to you based on the vibration that the frequency that you're putting out. Because you have to have that confidence in whatever you're sending out. That's why the word says, let the weak say that I am strong. And you have to believe and know that. You have to feel that. You have to be certain of that. And whatever you are certain of, whether success or not, you're going to receive. Because you're connected to the cosmos from your soul, which is the divine spark and energy and power that resides within your body. You have to be in harmony with the universe, living in accordance with your soul's desire. What is your soul calling you to do? What mission is your soul calling you to complete? You have to be true and real to yourself in order to get lined up and put yourself in position for the things to fall in place and to happen to you or happen for you that you need. They say that life does not happen to you. It happens through you. So whatever you desire your reality to be, you have to line yourself up in order to be so. You can't, for a joke somebody posted, say, I'm looking for a good man, but I'm scared, but I don't like going out. Well, you ain't gonna find no good man in the house. He ain't gonna find you in the house. You got to go to the grocery store or something, and you got to fix yourself up to go do that. You can't go out of here looking like Sad Sack, who dragged the rat in, and expect somebody to approach you, at least the right guy anyway. You might, Pigpen might approach you, or somebody with an Xbox looking for a home, a hobosexual. You might draw the wrong person to you. You have to align yourself with what you desire to be. So if you want a successful mate, then you have to align yourself in the energy to attract, and you have to become a successful person yourself. And I'm not just talking from a financial perspective. I'm talking about in whatever your endeavor is. You have to become successful within your being and emit that energy, that frequency, in order to draw that into your life. But if you're a person of turmoil and doubt and comfortable with lack, then that's the type of person that you will draw, because you aligned yourself with it indirectly, not knowing, unawares. Okay. What is for an appointed time? What does that mean? Because he said the vision is for an appointed time. Well, let's take a look at it. The metaphysical meaning of appointed time generally refers to a predetermined or divinely ordained time for events to occur, often with a sense of purpose or significance. It suggests that things happen not randomly, but according to a specific plan or timeline, often in relation to a higher power or spiritual order. This concept can be found in various religious philosophical traditions, emphasizing the importance of timing and the interconnectedness of events. Now, I know everybody want to say, well, God don't want me to do it, it ain't going to happen. Oh, I'm waiting on God to open this door. I'm waiting on God to do this and God to do that. And God sitting back waiting on you to get yourself together to do it yourself. He's sitting back saying, well, I mean, I got this door over here, but they ain't trying to get over there to it. I have these people over here set to help them out in their situation, but they won't talk to nobody. Because why? I'm waiting on God. You know, that was a parable where the man said it was a flood coming. And the guy came through on a little motorcycle. Hey, flood coming. Y'all need to get out of here. Flood coming. Like, I'm going to wait on the Lord. Flood comes. Okay. And it's up to it's starting to come and people come along and say, hey, get in the truck. Flood coming. No, I'm gonna wait on God. Okay. Water starts rising. Man, get up on the roof. Man in the boat come by. Man, get in. The flood coming. Or the flood is here. Get in. Oh, I'm waiting on God. God gonna free me. Okay. Helicopter come. Grab the line. We'll pull you up. No, I'm waiting on God. All of a sudden, flood that overtook the house. He floating in water. He drowns and dies. He gets before the throne. He said, God, why didn't you save me? He said, what you mean? I sent the man on the motorcycle first to tell you to leave because the flood was coming. Then I sent the man in the truck, when the flood started happening to get you out. Then I sent the man in the boat when the flood happened. You didn't get on the boat. Then I sent a helicopter. How many people do I need to save you? I know I might have messed that up, but that's kind of how I remembered it going out. Stop putting everything on the Creator. He did not create you to come in here and do all the work for you and do everything and make stuff happen for your life. Because if that was the case, you got people that don't believe in no God that have achieved much success in this life. So what's your excuse for them? Just like Napoleon Hill said, if it's going to be, it's up to me. That's a quote from his book, Think and Grow Rich. But there are appointed times. If you want to look at it from an esoterical, metaphysical perspective, before you came to this earth, you designed a plan for your life, okay? To carry out, to learn whatever lessons you need to learn. And you had all the spirit guides and people in the spirit realm that made an agreement with you to guide you on your path and to help you, which means they will shut things down for you if you're going in the wrong direction, okay? And you go through the veil of forgetfulness so that you can start your journey all over again. But as you begin to awaken, and as the angels and as the spirit guides and all your ancestors and all of them start speaking to you and guiding you, you start to walk your life's path. You started hearing a voice say, do this. And you're like, oh man, yeah, let me do that. Oh, I'm glad I listened to that voice. I did that. And look at what happened. Why? Because your spirit, your higher self said, this in the plan. Go this way. Do this. Don't do that. Change this. And you have to align yourself. You got to trust your inner spirit, your intuition and the guidance from the divine. You don't need no preacher, no pastor or prophet to tell you how to specifically live your life, because those type of people will have you in bondage and restriction and lack and all them other things while they live high on the hog and then beat you down with your failures. Then you have some that will guide you and help you, but you got to be fortunate enough to do that. But you should rely on nobody but yourself and your connection to the divine. Now, I'm going to stop right there. And we're going to pick back up here next week with this, with the detailed breakdown and meaning of what is for the appointed time. It's going to be a part 2, y'all. But I ain't mad, because I said a lot today and I put out a lot of information. And if you didn't get it the first time, please go back, watch this video when I posted to YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. And help someone else to gain this knowledge and apply it to your life. Don't just let it tickle your ears and think, oh, he's entertaining, or oh, he's talking too long, or whatever is going on in your mind. Take a look at it, implement it, and try it out and see. I'm yours, Lord. Everything I got, everything I am, everything I'm not. Oh, I'm yours, Lord. Try me out and see if I can be completely yours. Try the word out and see if this word can completely help your life. I don't know why that song struck my spirit, but I just go with it. But I get the point. Don't just scoff at the word and let the video pass you by. Pay attention to the knowledge that's being put out. I don't proclaim to be the most prolific speaker, although I will get there. But my heart is sincere, and when I'm putting out with all sincerity and goodness of heart to help you elevate, as I help myself elevate. So I pray that I've said something today that will move you in a direction that will give you greater knowledge of why you write the vision and how to align yourself. And we're going to go into that some more on next week. But this has been the existence changing experience that is the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. And I'm Pastor Walker, and it's been my pleasure to go on this journey of the word with you. Again, if this video or the videos on my channel are a blessing to you, to please like, share, and subscribe. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pray us out, and then I bid you adieu until we come back together again next week. Creator of all, we give all honor and esteem to you. Thank you for the teaching of the word, the receiving of the word, the doing of the word. We're grateful for all knowledge and information and every blessing and way made and open door. We're thankful for the spirit and our higher selves and the spirit guides and angels and ancestors and all the beings that are given charge over us to help us on our life's journey. Now, as we depart from this zone, but never from your presence, we pray that you go with us and keep us till we come together again. And we pray these things in the name of the divine, that it may come before the throne of the Most High. So be it. May the Creator bless you and keep you. May He cause His countenance to shine upon you, be gracious unto you. May He show you His mercy and bid you His peace. Peace, love, and light. We'll see you next week for more of the same.